Benvenuti a Zoom Stile.
We believe that we are
Gilbert
and George, and we are exploring the issues which lie within all of us. So we will inevitably deal with death,
hope,
life,
fear,
sex,
money,
race,
and religion,
bloody, naked,
human
world. And today we are here with blood,
tears,
spunk,
piss. But because this is a living sculpture, our journey through life, what we're leaving behind. So you can see what we left behind in 1978, in 1984, and this in 1997. So it's a combination of thoughts that confronts us in everyday life.
We are determined through our pictures and exhibitions to bring out the bigot from inside the liberal, and conversely, to bring out the liberal from inside the bigot. We are working on this every day. We believe that we are the same as the viewer. As baby artists, we didn't fall in love with art, we fell in love with the viewer of art. We are anti-elitism. We believe that we can exist on the same level as the viewer.
And in life, there are very few subjects that confront us every single day. And I would say that one of the most important one is sex. And one of the second one, the most important, have to be money. Without money, we would be on what they call the tramps and the end of the life. Race is extremely important because race is the most active part of human life now. To be friendly to each other is the most important. And religion, we don't like religion. We are quite anti-religion. We would like them very much because we don't believe in God. There is no God.
So it's very important always to say, ban religion and decriminalize sex. Decriminalizing sex is very, very important because we are all complicit, we're all guilty of not bringing to the end people being in prison for sex. We must all try to think and be different, that countries around the world will become ashamed of putting people in prison and executing them for sex, and will stop it. It's up to us. No, we think our pictures may seem to be a lot to do with us. We are always in our pictures, but from the response we receive from the general world, we feel they're all to do with the lives of the viewer. When somewhere in the world at this very moment, somebody is looking at a small painting by Van Gogh, and they're wondering why the tree is so distorted, and that is Van Gogh speaking from the grave. We believe in the power of culture.
After all, it is our journey through life. It's what we confront in our journey. It's Gilbert George's vision of the world. How we behave, how we are going to be, how we're going to die is our vision to the world. That is our art.
Our pictures, every single picture, is a visual love letter from us to the viewer, and so it will be signed by us. Like every book by Dickens is by Dickens. Every play by Shakespeare is by Shakespeare. It is our signature to arrive at our friendship with the viewer.
Gilbert, George, two artists or one living sculpture?
We always prefer to say two people but one artist. We always said if you walk over London Bridge, is a fantastic bridge very near us, where 1.5 million people cross in the morning and 1.5 million people cross the other way. and it's just like an invisible reality, just this crowd. But if you walk across and halfway across the bridge, you stop someone and take them by the arm and say, "Excuse me, I would like to say something to you." That will be amazing arresting. He will remember that for a long time. And that, in a way, is what a work of art does. It makes you stop life to think or feel about for a moment. If you take away all culture and all civilization, you have a very cruel, wicked place. You will need a bodyguard, no? If you go, we say to journalists who say, "What's all this nonsense about modern art and culture? We don't need all of that." We say, "Well, just try going to a country where there's no university, there's no library, there's no public art gallery, there's no theatre, no museum. You will almost certainly need to hire a bodyguard in that destination." It's extraordinary.
Can you speak just a little bit about your project of foundation that you have in London, that you bought a place close from your house and you are going to turn it into an exhibition center?
It's a very simple, modest plan we have, because as you know, everyone wants to live forever. And so we bought a very nice old-fashioned property set in a strange little garden very near us, an 18th century, not listed, not important architecturally. And we will, within the next year or two, we will turn it into a kind of Gilbert George centre. We will restore the garden. And so that will remain with us in the unlikely event in the future we don't happen to be around.
Yeah, it's very simple, because we realized in these last, 30, 40 years that nobody actually wants to show your work. No? Like if you go to the Tate Modern Gallery, for the last 10 years, okay, we had a big show, we managed to persuade them to do a big show of us, but after that they didn't put up one artwork. And we think that's extraordinary, it's criminal in some way. And so that's why we thought we have to do our own revenge and build our own, what they call, little gallery for us. And we have so many artworks, because there are so many artworks that collector would never put on the walls. They are all left behind. The best ones are always the left behind ones, because they're very difficult they love the shows, but they are not able to put their name to a piece of ours, because they are terrified that somebody will say it's not right.
Do you have any tips, and this might be a question a bit out of desperation, but do you have any tips for art students today?
Of course.
We only had the same one for the last 50 years.
We have our standard answer, which seems to work very well. Our first piece of advice is something very connected with us on a daily basis. So we say to the student, tomorrow morning when you wake up, sit on the edge of the bed, keep your eyes closed, and don't stand up until you've decided, what do I want to say to the world today? Once you've decided, it doesn't matter what you do, you're on the right track. And if you can't decide, that's also interesting, because it gives you plenty of thought for that day. And the second piece of advice to the students is?
Fuck the teachers.
The Ritz I never sighed for, the car they can keep. There's only one place that I know, and that is where I sleep.
Underneath the arches, I dream my dreams away. Underneath the arches, on cobblestones we lay. Every night you find me, tired out and worn, happy when the daylight comes creeping, heralding the dawn, sleepy when it's raining, and sleepy when it's fine. La-dee-dee-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Pavement is my pillow, no matter where we stray. Underneath the arches, I dream my dreams away.
I wanted to thank you because it's quite rare that Gilbert and George are giving again this song. The last time I hear you, it was for after the Tate Modern opening.
Exactly.
And you said it was the last time. So very good. For Venice, you are.
Very sweet.
È tutto, arrivederci alla prossima puntata di Zoom Stile.